at 9:38. And with that, I think we should do a roll call.
Whitebird.
Here.
Markham.
Here.
Spiz.
Present.
Charles.
Present.
And Miller and Cabell are absent with notice. We have a quorum.
Terrific, thank you. Let us stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Regarding approval of the minutes, which is our next item of business for June 23rd, 2021, are there any corrections to the minutes of the previous meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Support.
Terrific. Any discussion? If not, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next, we will move on to the approval of the agenda. I liked what Penny said yesterday. There are 3 items under communications, 1 item under consent, and 3 under regular agenda. Next is approval of agenda. Are there any changes or corrections of this agenda?
I'll move the agenda.
Thank you.
I'll
Second?
support it.
Great. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. We will move on now to public comment. Is there anyone from the public who would like to address the committee? Seeing none, I will go ahead and close public comment. That takes us to communications. We need a motion to receive and file communications, items A through C.
I'll move those.
I'll support. I just had one.
Yes.
Is there anybody online that can answer a question?
Do we have anyone online who can answer a question for one of our communications?
It has to do with facilities management, so I don't know
Good morning. This is Ed Joss with Planning and Engineering. I may be able to help you.
if, it's just for clarification, Ed, in the report.
Yep.
You made it on page. Oh, there it is. Page 12, it's the resolution 19203. It says 2019 parking lot and road paving project. Is it still 2019 project or is it a 2021 project? Because I know later there's another 2021 project.
Yes, I'll confirm it, but I'm almost certain that is the 2019. There is some paving that we could not get in that year because of timing, scheduling contractors, and then we hit winter conditions. So that those projects were delayed, and yeah, we're doing 2019 projects now.
Okay, because it says it's still under design. That's why I was asking too.
Yes, yeah, and that was part of the issue. Is that we had to go back with the engineers and do some redesigning, and that was part of the delay. So,
Okay.
so we're wrapping that up now. Yep.
Great. Any more questions? Hearing none, we have our motion and it's been supported. Call for the vote.
You can do a voice vote on that?
Oh, voice vote, yes. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. That takes us now to the consent agenda, and I will entertain a motion to open and move
I'll
that forward.
move to approve the consent agenda.
Any support?
I'll support it.
Great. Questions, comments? Hearing none, I believe this is a roll call vote. Please, thank you.
Whitebird.
Yes.
Markham.
Yes.
Spiz.
Yes.
Charles.
Yes.
4 yeas, 0 nays.
Great. Motion carried. Next, we'll move on to the regular agenda. We need a motion.
I'll move item 2 on the regular agenda.
I'll support it.
Thank you. Do you have any questions? Otherwise, we can have the report from either Paul or Bonnie.
No questions yet.
Okay. Thanks. We'll listen to your report. Thanks, Paul.
Hello,
Morning.
are we up?
Yes, you are up.
Got it, thanks. Hey, this is a renewal of a lease
Bonnie Kincaid is also on the call. She is the executive director of the Medical Control Authority. And the Medical Control Authority has been on campus for a long time. I'll let her explain those, what they specifically do, but they've been in the old health center building, which is across from the main building, and they take a first floor and a basement area. They have a conference room. They do training. They support first responders, and they do a lot of good things. They were a major provider or organizer for the PPE with emergency management. So with looking at that lease, administration wanted to keep them on for 5 years. But this is a 1-year renewal. So with all the things going on and the Plant Moran study and the issues with what buildings will be used in the future, we didn't want to do a long term. So we're partnering with them for another year. And this is a $1 lease. So the benefits that they give on campus are tremendous. And again, if there's questions, Bonnie can answer those. But basically, we would like the board to approve another 1-year lease.
Thank you, Paul. I just want to state for the purposes of the record, we are on the Department of Health and Human Services, Health Division, and Department of Facilities Management, approval of lease for Medical Control Authority. So just wanted to make sure that was clear. And are there any questions from the commissioners for Bonnie? Mr. Wiper?
Thank you. So I was going to ask Paul, Paul, so that's, I mean, this is pretty smart here. We're just doing 1 year only because we are looking at the future use of the campus after COVID, right? That's the big plan.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. And I'm not in on that loop. Art Holdsworth, Ed Joss, and that group are. So I don't have any details on that yet. I know it's still in process, but they're getting updates all along. So if you want some of those updates, I know Art and Ed can give those to you.
Okay. We don't need now, but I'm glad you're getting direction to look at that.
Yes.
And I could follow with Bonnie. I mean, this Bonnie, during the pandemic, it really came on strong with all the PPE and helping out. So was the space sufficient for all you had to do during the pandemic, or was it?
Yes, it was. It served quite well, especially in the early months where we were having to bring PPE to our building to dispense until we really got organized with the warehouse. So that went really well. And we have been here, just so you know, 25 years. I know Paul probably didn't know the exact number, but yes, and I've been here since the inception. So I can answer any questions to history or, what we do. We regulate and oversee all 50 life support agencies in Oakland County that provide EMS services.
Thank you.
Thank you. Seeing no more questions from the commissioners, we can go ahead and call for the vote.
On item number 2, Markham,
Yes.
Spiz,
Yes.
Wiper.
Yes.
Charles.
Yes,
4 yeas, 0 nays.
thank you.
Thank you.
Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
Next, I'll take a motion to open report number 3, Facilities Management and Water Resources Commissioner, approval of the renewal lease with Danco Properties LLC for use of building and storage yard.
So moved.
Support.
Terrific, thank you. Paul, Ben?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, and now this is another lease that has been long going for the water resources. And again, Amy Plouffe is on the Zoom also. Amy is assistant chief engineer, and that lease is with a company called Danco. They have a nice location that works out well for the water unit. and they also support the water unit. So it's kind of a hybrid. The lease is part building, part land, and then part services, and it's all rolled into one, so it's really a gross lease. So Water Resources pays that rent, and those services are included in the rent. So when I talked with Water Resources Administration, they wanted to move forward and renew that lease, and we're going for 5 years, so we're asking the board to renew it. Now, in the past, that landlord has kept their rent static, and he asked me, well, Paul, things go up, so I'd like to see some bumps in the rent, which we normally do on a lot of the leases, industrial leases. A lot of landlords ask for bumps every year, annual bumps. So there is a minor bump each year, which is less than 1%, and he's happy with that. So again, the lease covers, he's paying CAM, taxes, insurance, and all the maintenance to the building. Water Resources doesn't have to do any of that. And so for instance, part of those services, they have loader, backhoe, and forklift, that type of thing. And they have emergency services. So they're working with an operator that's also in the same business. That way they can have pretty much 24-hour response, being able to get in and have that contractor, tenant, or landlord work with them on any of their needs. So again, we're looking to have the board approve a 5-year renewal of this lease. If there's any questions?
Questions from the members? I'll start with Commissioner Spitz.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This question's for Amy. Can you elaborate on what Paul mentioned about what exactly the Water Resource Commission stores there, does there, and how they manage or use this site?
Sure, I'd be happy to.
Thank you.
So WRC provides water maintenance services, so operation and maintenance of water systems throughout Oakland County. So they're spread across the county. We go as far north as Oxford, we go as far west as Highland, and then we're in the southern end as well along Farmington Hills in that area. So what this site does is it provides our crews better access to emergency response and operational repairs during the day. So we'll keep pipe there, we keep hydrant parts, valve parts. It's part of our operation. Just in Farmington Hills alone, there's almost 500 miles of water main that we service that we could have to repair. So we have a small site in Southfield where our crews dispatch from, but there isn't enough room at that site to keep the pipe and the materials that we need. So this site provides us access so that we can keep those materials close by so that we can more quickly respond. Because when we have to make a repair, it's we would have to close valves, and customers would be out of service, their water would be out of service. So this helps to minimize customer disruption so we can quickly and safely make those repairs.
Anything further?
I do have a follow-up.
Yes.
How many sites like this do we have around the county for WRC?
I'm sorry?
How many sites like this do we have around the county for WRC? Is this the only site that we do in the south end, or are there other sites around the county? Just wondering.
Yeah, so water maintenance, this is the only site they have on the south end for their activities. We have other sites throughout the county that, are more like operational, like a treatment basin or those type of things. But this is the only site I'm aware of in the south end of the county that we would use to for pipe equipment, that type of things.
All right, thank you.
Commissioner Weipert?
I had the same exact question, how important the Farmington area is. I mean, that's 500 miles of pipe. That's a big water district and sewage district for the WRC. I know that, so that was the same question.
Yes.
And I was going to actually ask this similar question, which was just understanding when we talk storage yard, I just want to make sure we weren't talking chemicals or anything that could impact the natural resources.
No, these are pipes and hydrant parts, those type of things. Think of things you would see out in the street. No chemical storage.
Great. Anything else from commissioners? All right. Well, we need our roll call vote, please.
On item number 3, Spiz,
Yes.
Whitebird.
Yes.
Markham,
Yes.
Charles.
Yes.
4 yeas, 0 nays.
Great, motion carried. Next, I'll.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Next, I'll entertain a motion to open report 4, facilities management, facilities maintenance and operations, jail bathroom retiling project.
So moved.
Support.
Thank you, Commissioner Spitz, Commissioner Markham. We did get an email this morning with some photos, so if you've gotten a chance to take a look at those were very revealing. Do we have someone to make a report on this today?
I do. Can you, everybody hear me?
Yes,
Murphy
hi.
from,
Echo, Joe.
Hold on.
Somebody's gotta turn up the stereo.
how's that?
Better.
Better.
Okay, sorry about that. Today I'm presenting the resolution for seeking approval for the jail bathroom retiling project. FMNO requested the bids from annually competitive contractors qualified to replace the floor tiling in the jail complex and the inmate bathroom/shower areas. Floor transformation was the lowest responsible bid, and as recommended, the total project cost is $146,849. And I can open that up to questions. I do have Matt Goshka here in my office with me. He is the supervisor over there at that facility and be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Well, thank you very much. Commissioners, do you have any questions regarding this? Commissioner Spitz?
Thank you. Just a general question. Thank you for the pictures, first off. How many square feet are we talking? Do we know that?
There's 71 individual showers. There's 2 different floor sizes. I did not measure them. I would take a guess at 4 feet by 4 feet and 4 feet by 5 feet.
And that work does, Matt had mentioned too, that it replaces the pans and all those shower areas as well.
Correct.
All right, are we replacing the pans with tile, or are we replacing the pans with molded pans? What are we replacing with?
The pan is just a flood safety aspect of it. So some of the showers on the second floors are leaking through, so some of those pans have lost their integrity. We're going from a glazed tile to a non-glazed, non-slip tile. The grout is missing. It's just 50 years old. It's in bad shape.
Thank you.
Any other questions from commissioners? Commissioner Weipert?
Just in the bidding on this, because it's a jail and because of security, just give me an overview of how hard is it to coordinate a remodel in a jail or a complete redo? I mean, because you must have to have extra timing or extra security. I mean, how just
Correct. So our costs are slightly higher in the jails, specifically on what you just mentioned. So what we do is we put a maintenance technician with the contractors and not babysit them in a sense, but more or less, assist them and access in and out. All of the contractors would be background checked and approved prior to entrance of the jail.
and then the follow downtime. So they must have. I mean, those showers are probably used 24/7.
So again, coordination is always a challenge. In the main jail annex, there's more than one shower in each pod, so that's not an issue. There's 4 showers per pod. So in the main jail annex, it's not an issue. In the main jail, it's a coordination issue between the sheriff's department personnel, and simply we do them one at a time. Remove the 10 people out of the cell for probably 2 or 3 days until we get that shower done.
Okay. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you for taking my question. I was also wondering about logistics and timing. So it sounds like that's been accounted for, as well as vetting that there's no reason for concern with outside contractors there. Seeing no more questions.
Correct.
Thank you. We can go ahead and call for the vote, please.
On item number 4, Whitebird.
Yes.
Markham.
Yes.
Spiz.
Yes.
Charles.
Yes.
4 yeas, 0 nays.
Excellent. That motion carried.
Thank you.
Thank you. And is there any other business to come before this committee? Seeing none, thank you for your grace today, and this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, great job.
Good job, Madam Chair.